car number 4, alongside last night's winner, Steve Kinzer, in number 11. In the second row, Jack Haudenschild in 18 and Sammy Swindell in 1N. In the third row, Doug Wolfgang in 75 and Shane Carson in 12S. Row number 4, Tim G in car number 88 and Jeff Swindell in 1A. In the fifth row, Brad Doty in number 28D and Bill Liebig in number 8. In the sixth row, Ron Schumann in car 21X and Mike Brooks in 7X, as Tim G in the 88 moves into his assigned starting position. Seventh row, Bill Robinson in car 47 and TJ Giddings in 81. In the eighth row, Cliff Woodward in car 25 and Rick Weld in number 1. In the ninth row, Dan Lasowski in 44 and Junior Parkinson in 65. In the 10th row, car number 80X, driven by Todd Bishop and Jerry Potter in car number 12. And in the 11th row, Rick Unger in car number 80 and the number 20, driven by Tim Green. Those are the 22 starters ready to go in today's feature race. The number 75 car of Doug Wolfgang. And Larry Newber had an opportunity to talk with Doug Wolfgang about the racing activity here this weekend. Specifically, how do you beat Steve Kinzer?
You got to get your foot down hard and be smart. They got smart mechanics, and he's a heck of a driver. So if my mechanics stay on top of it all day and I get my foot down and hold it longer than he does down, I might be able to win.
Well, Steve will start from the outside of the front row, Steve Kinzer, that is, and certainly Steve Kinzer, the man to beat. 85 career wins coming into the 1982 season. There is a exhibition type formation that the World of Outlaws sprint cars specialize in. They move into a 4 abreast alignment. This is just something for the fans, to give the fans a nice close-up look at what week after week at the World of Outlaws sprint car races certainly is one of the finest fields of sprint cars you can find anywhere. 4 abreast, and a beautiful sight it is, moving through the north turns here at the I-70 Speedway in Odessa, Missouri. Jack Hewitt in the Howells Transportation number 4 on the inside of the front row. Jack Haudenschild alongside in the Gambler CK Spurlock car. That's the house car, the Gambler chassis. He starts outside, or he'll be starting in the second row right now in this formation. He lines up next to Doug Hewitt. Haudenschild will start in third. Sammy Swindell, the fastest qualifier this here weekend, will line up in 4th position. And that ever-present and omnipresent white number 11, Steve Kinzer, starts on the outside of the front row, and he'll be tough.
What are the drivers going for this afternoon? Well, they're going for points, but they're also going for a lot of money. The first place finisher will pick up $6,000, $4,000 for the second, $2,000 for third place finisher, $1,500 for fourth, and $1,200 for fifth place. Sixth receives $1,100, seventh place receives $1,000, the eighth place finisher gets $800, ninth place $750, and 10th place $700. The cars once again move down the main straightaway 4 abreast, and everybody in the grandstand here in front of us up on their feet saluting the drivers. Now they move back into the 2 abreast formation and get set for the start of the race. Our thanks to Ted Johnson and his people, the World of Outlaws, and also for the great crew here at the I-70 Speedway in Odessa, headed, of course, by the owner of the facility, Greg Weld, who has done a lot of work on this racetrack, getting it prepared from last night's action, and the track is held together well here this afternoon. The sun is shining very brightly, and the track shows no signs of excessive dryness.
30 green flag laps, no pit stops. If we go red, you can make adjustments to the car. If we go red, watch for tire changes. If we don't go red, it's going to be an absolute sprint, if you'll pardon the pun, to the absolute finish. The World of Outlaw sprint cars, the fastest cars in the world on dirt. They have attained speeds, an average speed of over 125 miles per hour on a 1-mile dirt track this year. Rick Ferkel did that. And on a half-mile track like this, they are approaching 110 miles per hour average speed. It is an incredible sight to see these cars go through the corners at racing speed. It is almost magical.
Here they come. We'll see if we get the green flag. Yes, the green flag is out, and the race is on. Moves into the lead, and we have a spin up in turn number 1, and a couple of other cars are also spinning down into the infield, so at least 3 cars involved in an accident. One of them is Dan Lasowski in car number 44, and a couple of others slid to the inside of the racetrack. And here is one of the drivers climbing out, and that is Brad Doty, I believe, isn't it, Larry?
Brad Doty, and there was at least a flat tire on the left front, and the car looked like it was sitting pretty low to the ground, so there was definitely contact. There is Lasowski's car. Car number 18, Jack Haudenschild, who started on the inside of row number 2, sits at the top of the racetrack, so this incident developed very near the front of the pack.
Jack Haudenschild started in 3rd position and apparently lost control. Let's look and see if we can find out exactly what happened.
Well, there you see Lasowski going sideways. Doty is ahead of him. Doty's car is already on the ground. Doty's already got a flat tire. Doty starting on the inside of the 5th row. It's possible that he made contact with Haudenschild somewhere on the front stretch. Look at Lasowski trying to keep that car out of the telephone poles and the embankment down on the bottom. He had his foot on the accelerator. He was sliding backwards. He was trying to get the car stopped by accelerating because he was going backwards.
There's a flat tire on Brad Doty's car. Looks like he's going to be out of the race. The other drivers remain out there. We're under a yellow, and we will have a complete restart because the spin occurred just after they took the green flag. The number 44 car of Lasowski is back out there in position, and we want to apologize to Dan and his fans. We have received about 4 different spellings and pronunciations on his name today, and we are finally told that it is Lasowski. So Dan is back out there. Now Jack Haudenschild is about to get pushed off, and he will rejoin the field. And the other car involved, Brad Doty, car number 28. I believe that car is going to be out of commission because of suspension problems.
Great break for Jack Hewitt. Jack Hewitt got a terrible start. He lost control momentarily coming off the 4th turn as the green flag dropped. He got well out of shape, and that could well have been the actual catalyst of that incident that eventually put out, at least apparently put out, Brad Doty. There's Hewitt. He starts in the pole. He got out of shape coming out of turn number 4 at the drop of the green. He had dropped back to 3rd or 4th position, and Steve Kinzer was by on the high side and leaving the rest of the pack.
Well, we'll take a look at the start of the race and see if we can determine exactly what happened as they came off of 4 to come down for the green flag. As you indicated, Larry, Jack Hewitt did get a rather poor start. Here they are down the backstretch, and now this is the time to begin to pick up the accelerator and head for the green flag.
Hewitt got way down low, and he found a very dry spot of the track, and you see the tail end of the car come around and shuffling going on behind him. That is Haudenschild, the yellow car, fishtailing back and forth on the high side of the racetrack, following Hewitt by. Haudenschild gets very sideways, but I still don't see the contact with Brad Doty's car and Danny Lasowski.
Well, in any case, we go to a complete restart now as positions are being sorted out